Day two, we've obviously heard that notable tip from Gordon Elliott about his in the bumper called Keep Him Company. But the standout race, the feature race on day two is the BetMGM Queen Mother Champion Chase, where Madgeborough are dominating the betting, with Madgeborough, after that excellent performance at the DRF, the favourite.
I just don't think you can back anything else on account of Madgeborough making a mistake. I mean, he's probably the best chaser in training at the moment, Madgeborough. He's an absolute monster, and he'll go and win.
Of course, you can back something on account of him making a mistake. It's called jumps racing. Rish?
Yeah, I see. I understand what Tom's saying, but in fairness, it's only once over fences that Madgeborough has produced that performance. And in fairness, it was last time, so maybe something's happened. Maybe it's the cheek pieces. I don't know. But he has not jumped as well as he should have done to equate with his talents over fences. Clearly, he's a high-class horse. The one race I had an anti-post bet in for Cheltenham that I was very keen on was Lurdesud in the Queen Mother Champion Chase after he got beaten at Sandown. He should not have run at Sandown. Shouldn't have run at Sandown last year, even though he won after he won at Cheltenham. He is, I think, at Cheltenham fresh, a very, very smart chaser. He will float around Cheltenham, and I can't see him being far away. Madgeborough, there's a question mark about him. If Madgeborough had done what he did last time out, 2 races in a row, he'd be a much shorter price than he is. The reason why Madgeborough is the price he is because he hasn't been trusted yet. Lurdesud for me.
So I cannot believe this is honestly Lurdesud. He was 4th in an Arkle last year. What is wrong with everyone?
Well, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have.
Tom,
Lucky, please help.
It's that's the same Arkle in which Madgeborough blundered 2 out, right? And the 4 of them ended up finishing in a heat. Now, Lurdesud, when Madgeborough made his mistake, if you'd stopped the race there, Lurdesud was almost travelling better than him, right? So on that evidence, there's actually not that much between them on good ground at Cheltenham. And I think the ground is the key. If the ground is soft or worse, I think Madgeborough is a certainty. But Madgeborough's chance is compromised the better the ground gets. Madgeborough's chance decreases commensurate with the ground drying out. And it's as simple as that. To me, it's Madgeborough if the ground is soft, and probably Lurdesud if the ground's decent.
Although the only thing I'll add to that, Lucky, is obviously the ground at Cheltenham for Lurdesud's win in the Schlur was soft enough, and he floated around there as well.
I just think it inconveniences Madgeborough if the ground quickens up.
At the end of match bet, Tom.
If Lurdesud wins the champion chase, I will go home. There and there, right there and then. Just
thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm off. See you later. I can't. He's just not good enough for me. Can't be good enough. This race has got a history. A history of
you could get a wacky result. You could get Quilixios first time out this season. He ran well last year. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Good old dodging bullets a few years ago. But anyway, yeah.
The Kettle won at a big price, didn't she?
Yeah.
New Mill won a race which included Moscow Flyer and Corto
Star. Brutal. Absolutely brutal that was.
Right. Well, at the end of this paddock, we normally do paddock picks as sort of an additional strand. Well done, Lucky, by the way, who tipped up a horse that got smashed on the day, but was 12-1, I think, in the morning of the big race.
Montemaris.
Montemaris, yeah. Congratulations. That was a
forgot about him.
From you. Our paddock picks this week will come in the form of all of us doing a Cheltenham Yankee, 4 selections, any price, any selection you want. And I'm pretty sure we know that Madgeborough will be appearing in Tom Stanley's, but we'll look forward to that at the end of the episode. Kicking it off on day 2 is the Turners. Lots of talk about which race Mighty Park will run in, and also talk the talk. Lots of talk going into it about whether Paul Nicholls has a star in his hand in No Drama this end. I, on the preview circuit, got told to back one at 33-1 in the Turners, trained by Willie Mullins, called Laureate d'Estraval for Rich Ritchie. Who's an interesting profile, actually, and very much is flying under the radar. So I just wanted to give a nudge to that as a whisper I've heard on the circuit. Did anyone have a strong view in the Turners?
I've got a strong view. If Mighty Park turned up, I'd be concerned because I did, obviously, all season long, like No Drama this end. And seeing Montemaris win on the weekend, no harm to his chances. And everything he's done has been really eye-catching. The way he travels. Last time out, he dictated a slow pace and then quickened away under, relatively minimal effort from Harry Cobden. I think he's a very, very talented horse. But I would be scared about Mighty Park. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person who's heard that if Mighty Park runs, it doesn't matter what race he runs in, because Willie Mullins has intimated that he might be the best horse he's ever had.
Yeah, the vibes about Mighty Park are incredibly strong, and hence his sort of position in all the markets, really, because the achievements he's had to date, which you just don't match up to. I mean, it's potential with Mighty Park, isn't it?
It's potential, and it's the fact that it's someone who's trained more than 100 Cheltenham Festival winners saying things like it doesn't matter what race he runs in.
Yeah.
Can I just jump in on that? He's much more a Turner's sort of profile horse than an old school Supreme horse, certainly. So I'd be more keen if he ran in a Turner.
Other races on day 2 are Brown Advisory, which is a Grade 1 for staying novices. BetMGM Cup, formerly the Coral Cup, now the BetMGM Cup. The Cross Country, the Johnny Henderson Grand Annual, sponsored by Debenhams, and the Champion Bumper. And we had Gordon give that tip in the Champion Bumper. Grand Annual, one I thought was interesting was Ballysax Hanks for Gavin Cromwell, running over 2 miles. I think is exactly what that horse wants. So keeping an eye on him. What have we got on day 2? Tom Stanley.
I think Boot Hill, if he ran in the Grand Annual, could be very, very interesting.
Your head. What have you been doing?
Right. He's 50-1. This race has a history of horses with duck eggs all year, turning up well handicapped and running very well or winning it. I don't know why it's that type of race, but it often is. The
Tom. It's because they're not doing their best for the rest of the season. That's why.
So the British. I want to find a British trained horse who the handicapper might have been lenient with, who could be very well treated. And it wasn't too far ago since this horse gave John Boyne a run for his money, and he's rocking up here off a mark of 140 odd. I'll definitely have a go at him. I don't think he's necessarily a plot job. He's just incredibly well treated, and at 50-1, I will definitely have Boot Hill on side.
Yeah, that's another race that's given us big price winners. Ben Case won it a few years ago. Keelan Woods. Rish, anything on day 2?
Wendigo. I know his price is obviously shortened for the Brown Advisory, and he has got a few different entries, but I hope he runs in this race. I thought he ran an absolute belter last year in the Albert Bartlett, where he got badly hampered coming down the hill. He shouldn't have run at Kempton, I don't think, in the Quarto Star, but he still ran okay behind Kit's Bull, and then he cruised around. I think he's been tailor-made for this race, the Brown Advisory, and I'm going to stick. I mean, Final Demand, I look at him and I'm how can you back Final Demand? I can't see that. Big Westerner is the other horse that's at the top of the market, and he wasn't that far behind her, having had that run that he did in the Albert Bartlett last year. So Wendigo in the Brown Advisory.
Lucky picked up anything in the circuit?
The MGM Cup. I think there's a horse in here sort of slightly hiding in plain sight. Our old friend Iberico Lord.
Yeah.
Who they supplemented for the Champion Hurdle 2 years ago when Nicky Henderson couldn't get one to basically finish a race, and the yard was under that massive cloud. It tells you what they thought of him. Now, okay, they got him down so far in the weights that he dotted up in the Lanzarote. He went about 10 wide. I mean, James Bowen must have known what he was sitting on that day. He made sure of it. He went about 10 wide at Kempton and still won by half the track. The form's worked out really quite well. I think the handicap has taken a bit of a chance, only putting him up £8. 144, but it's like, oh, well, he's won his race. So that was his race for the season. Oh, he can't do it again, can he? Well, yeah, I think he can, especially as he's won round there and he's completely unexposed at the trip. So I'll have him to go in again wherever he runs.